then randomly just, a couple weeks ago, they just gave my account back. I got a sale on my app and I was like, oh, all right, got it back again. I don't really plan on selling on Walmart anymore though. The volume wasn't really there for me. I just didn't really like the platform as much. I took out an Amazon loan and that was like one of the worst things I ever did. And now, I'm making 10 grand a month. It takes some time, but if you're consistent with it, you can definitely make money doing it.
I wonder if you could just, now that I'm thinking about this too, we're just like building a business live on the podcast. That's what we could put as the title.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Side Hustle Experiment podcast. On today's episode, we have Alex. He's done over $5 million in lifetime sales on Amazon and eBay and sells on both platforms currently. So we're going to get into that. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. Glad to be here.
You guys, tell people a little bit about yourself to start this off. I know you say you sell on Amazon, eBay, and I followed you for a while on Twitter. We talked about this before this. He recently pointed out a problem with the podcast that we had messed up in the editing. So I was like, man, come on here. We'll probably have a good discussion if you're watching the pod. So yeah, give us a little intro.
Sure. So I've actually been selling like e-commerce since 2012. Back in high school, I started with doing like garage sales, going to a bunch of garage sales, finding like video games, other things I can make money on, and just selling them on eBay. I actually ended up getting banned on eBay because I didn't upload any tracking information a lot of the times. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I kind of gave up on the whole e-commerce journey for a bit. And then I found Reezy Resells online, and he kind of got me back into it. Started up my eBay account again, and then eventually I found Amazon, and Amazon has been a great proponent to building your capital and wealth. eBay's a little bit slower on the selling side, but Amazon, I just found all that volume and everything else, which has allowed me to be where I am today. I did a little bit of like thrifting, going to like thrift stores and stuff, but you just can't find the volume at the thrift stores, and I hated driving around to all the different stores and all the different cities. I'm kind of lazy. I like being at home, and doing OA is a great way to provide for myself doing that.
Yeah. I saw you posted something about Walmart. What about that?
Yeah, so I was selling on Walmart. I did pretty well last year, and then just randomly about 2 months ago, I got banned for they said account circumvention. Don't really know what that means. I only have the one account. And then they said there was no way to really get past the account deactivation. Basically just had to deal with it. Lost all my inventory, money, etc. But then randomly just, a couple weeks ago, they just gave my account back. I got a sale on my app and I was like, oh, all right, got it back again. I don't really plan on selling on Walmart anymore though. I don't know. The volume wasn't really there for me. And I don't know. I just didn't really like the platform as much.
Yeah.
Did you leave all your inventory at Walmart then, or did you pull all of it? Or
I recalled it. I'm still waiting on getting it though. It hasn't received. I haven't received it here at my prep center or just at home. So I'm assuming I'll eventually get it back. I didn't have like a bunch of inventory there. It was maybe like $5,000 worth of stuff. So I'm not like too worried about it, but would be nice if I get that back soon.
I'm sure if you listen to the pod, you probably hear us kind of trash Amazon a lot. And I know what I found. Are you on Instagram or are you mainly on Twitter?
Just Twitter.
Yeah. What I've noticed is, which maybe this is me curating my, stuff on Twitter, but it feels like the whole Amazon space is like just not really there as much anymore on Twitter. Like there's not a big space like there used to be. I remember like every day there was just a ton of new people coming up.
Yep.
What do you think about the whole Amazon situation, like the state of it on social media as well?
So really, I'm not like a huge like social media person. I know like I have a few close friends that do Amazon, Walmart kind of things, but I haven't really met too many people in the Amazon Twitter community. I am a part of like some Discords and some stuff like that. But I have seen like the sentiment for Amazon, going way down. Doesn't seem like a lot of people want to sell on the platform anymore. A lot of people are kind of getting, annoyed with all the changes, the fee increases. There's just always issues with Amazon. I'm happy with Amazon just because they allow me to sell on their platform, and that's how I'm making a majority of my money. But man, just like, you send in a shipment of 1,000 items and they lose 200 of them, and you're on the hook for that, and that's their problem. So it's kind of like disheartening, but I think as time goes on here and things kind of settle a little bit more, Amazon gets, maybe they make it a little bit easier for sellers in the future here. I think sentiment will go back up. It's just kind of ebb and flow. Like we just saw that Walmart was doing really well on Twitter. Everybody wanted to sell in Walmart. Everybody wanted to go over there. But then now we have all the toy issues, right? You got to get the CPC requirements, etc. And that's a huge headache for a lot of people. So yeah,
Yeah, I wonder how much of that stuff. I wondered this a long time ago. And now I'm not on Twitter as much, especially in that world. But I wonder how much like the sentiment is like reality, or if the people are just creating it and kind of like fear mongering type of stuff. Because I mean, I contribute to that. Obviously, I was always kind of negative about it, but I wonder how much that it's like people are being honest about it, or if it's just like, hey, everybody else thinks that, so I'm going to think that too.
for sure. I mean, it's a great platform to sell on still. If you're selling, whatever category it is, it's a great outlet to, if you got Amazon returns, eBay returns, whatever, you can, put them on Walmart, or just, having multi-platform or being able to sell on multiple platforms is great for your business anyways. Reduce your risk and diversify a little bit. I mean, like with my Amazon business, if the account gets shut down, I'm pretty much screwed. But I'm also aware of that situation. So, that's why I have money saved up, ready to go in case something does happen. But, losing all of your inventory and your whole account balance would be pretty devastating.
Yeah, straight to bankruptcy if you haven't handled it right, I guess.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you kind of going towards that? I guess you're aware of the risk, but do you plan on scaling it up then, or are you kind of like happy where you're at? Like you're kind of like at your risk tolerance.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of like right where I'm at with my risk tolerance right now. I do about 100 to 120,000 in monthly revenue, and I probably do about 11 to 14% in margin. So I'm really happy with that currently. I mainly built this business as like a lifestyle business. So right now I currently do lawn care part-time, and then I do this business part-time as well. I mainly put in like maybe 2 hours a day at most into the Amazon business, but it allows me to take home basically the salary that I was making doing full time at my lawn care job. I'm now taking that home as my Amazon job. So I'm making like full time income with Amazon and then part time income with my lawn care, and it lets me live the life I want to live. I have a bunch of free time that I can, enjoy with my wife, hang out with friends, go out, whatever I want to do, etc. So I'm really happy with like where I'm at currently on Amazon, and I think scaling past that, it's a little bit risky for me. I like the monthly income I'm already making, and I don't really want to put any more capital at risk, because I like just taking out the money and investing it in other areas as well.
So you've got it set up to where, you're actually making a profit, and
Yeah.
putting it back into stuff. Yeah, I think that's really important for all businesses, especially Amazon, is not get stuck in this scale growth mode, but like be fine with, okay, if I make, $11,000 to $12,000 a month, if I can take out most of that and invest it and do what I want, and then, my money that you've already built up the capital to reinvest in product, right?
Yep.
That's probably the smart way to play it. So I'm assuming you don't carry debt.
No debt, no debt. I had debt at the start of the business. I took out an Amazon loan, and that was like one of the worst things I ever did. So I mean, some people need it, and that's fine, but I don't recommend debt for any business, unless you're really trying to, Chad scale or whatever it is.
Yeah, or if there's like an exitable income, like at the end of it, I think that's a big part of it too. It's like, can you sell this business so the growth is worth it and the multiples at the end? But with Amazon, it's just like you're getting into debt. I don't know. I never was a fan of it either. Well, why
Yeah,
do you not
no.
like the Amazon loan so much?
Yep. I was paying like, man, I think I was paying like 2 or 3K per month back to Amazon, and it just felt like I was taking nothing home after that. So I told myself I'd pay off the loan, and that was that. And then I was just gonna scale with the capital that I had. I mean, I think I started with less than $1,000, some years ago, and now, I'm making 10 grand a month. So it takes some time, but if you're consistent with it, you can definitely make money doing it.
Do you have a team at all?
Yeah, it's just me and a part-time VA. He does 15-ish hours a week. And he's just doing admin work, no sourcing or anything. It's just stuff that it's hard for me to keep up on, like doing spreadsheet work and entering values in my repricer, etc., stuff like that. He was like a sourcing VA at the start, but I found that the quality of the leads were pretty low, and I was making more money just sourcing myself. So I've been keeping it that way for the past couple of years, just sourcing on my own for a couple hours a day. I kind of have my own little workflow that I go through in the morning to find new leads, and then restock any inventory that might have sold over the past week.
Yeah, I think that the sourcing BA thing is funny. I hear a lot of people say what you say is like, I don't know if it ends up being the quality, but people push them all the time and it's like a really good idea. So I don't know. I never had any luck with it either. I was more of a, probably more of an admin type of job.
Yeah, yeah. I find, with the VAs doing the admin work, it takes me, doing the admin work takes like 2 hours a day ish for me. And then just having my VA do that, that takes away all the time that I was doing that. So now I can focus on sourcing. And sourcing really doesn't take too long. All you got to do is find one lead and then rabbit trail that lead down to other products, etc. I can spend like a couple grand a day easily, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we can keep talking about Amazon, but me and John usually don't really talk about it too much. So I want to kind of talk about the pod. We can kind of discuss the people we've had on, like kind of your sense on the online stuff in general. So how long have you been watching stuff like, or what kind of, episodes do you like to watch? Because I'm always curious, do people like the Amazon only, or do they watch the other stuff as well?
I like it all, man. I love hearing about new businesses, new business ideas. I want to start a different type of business. I'm not really sure what yet, but listening to the pod, I'm getting a bunch of great ideas, and it's just about executing on one of them. I don't really want to try to start a bunch of new ones. I just want to find out what I like and hunker down on that one thing. Probably something online related. I like being at home, so if I can add that to my lifestyle and just be able to stay at home, that'd be great. I have thought about like private label, but I'm not too keen on that yet. Kind of see where it goes. Maybe more of like just creating a brand and not selling on Amazon. Maybe like direct DTC or something. But I don't know, man. There's so many opportunities out there. It's just a matter of picking one and sticking with it.
Yeah, do you own the lawn care business, or do you?
I don't know. I work for it's a small local company in where I live here. I've worked with him for 7 years now. He's been really flexible with me, allowing me to work on my business while I still work for him. And this is actually the first year that I went part-time with him, which is great. So I'm working 3 days a week, and then the other 2 days I get to focus on the business. So it's a really good setup. And I also don't have to work in the winter, so I get the whole winter to focus on the business as well. So I've really kind of curated that lifestyle business for myself.
Is there any reason you still work the job? Like, is it pay enough to where it's worth it to do that part time?
Yeah, I get paid pretty well to work there. I'm like the crew lead there, and I like getting outdoors. I think that's a big thing for me is I'm able to go outside, and that's where I listen to all my podcasts and music. Get a lot of ideas being outside. It's just kind of nice to be able to be at home and then also be able to go outside and work, do stuff with my hands, just be active. If I didn't have that job, I'd probably be so lazy and I wouldn't be outside doing anything. So, it's, benefit for me.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I'm
Have
stuck.
you ever?
Oh man.
Have you ever thought about doing maybe like a service-based business locally? Like,
You know,
real quick, if you've been thinking about hiring a virtual assistant but don't know where to start, VA Fastlane makes the process dead simple. They just don't throw you a random VA. They actually line up 4 highly qualified candidates based on the skill level you need. Whether it's online arbitrage, wholesale, or whatever business model you're running, they got you covered. Then you interview the ones you like and pick the best fit. No guessing, no generic VAs who don't even know anything about Amazon. And it works whether you're just starting out or running a full-blown operation. They offer both part-time, 20 hours a week, and full-time, 40 hours a week.
Plus, they've already placed over 140 VAs for Amazon sellers, and they offer free unlimited replacements. So if someone isn't the right fit down the line, you're covered. It's run by Carter Maxwell. You've heard of him on the show, and he's built a team so dialed in, he only spends 4 to 5 hours a week on his own Amazon business. So if you're ready to scale with a VA who's trained, proven, and backed by a solid system, book a free call at the link below and talk to Carter. And make sure to ask about the special offer for the Side Hustle Experiment listeners.
Power
I was
washing or light hanging or any of that kind of stuff?
yeah, I've been really close to starting my own lawn care company in the local area here. I was gonna start one this year, but I figured let me try part-time first, see how that goes, and then maybe next year I thought about it. I just, like I said, I'm lazy. I don't really want to go out there and do the work, but I will. So I'd love to like maybe start a lawn care business and then, once I get enough lawns or whatever, just contract that work out to somebody else, and just have them go out and do it for me. But the light hanging thing is really interesting, though. I know a few people that do that, and they make a bunch of money doing it. But I'm afraid of heights, so I don't want to go on any roofs.
You could always just outsource it all, right? Like,
Yeah,
how many
right, definitely.
employees do you need? Really, like especially if you make something simple, you probably need a sales rep unless you want to go door to door. So you need a
Yep.
sales rep, and then you need 1 or 2 workers, right? That's probably all you need to cover like a lot of these jobs.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, most of the crews that I see outside, it's literally 1 or 2 people that are doing the job. So I'm assuming, yeah, they got some sort of salesperson, and that's about it. So they probably have a really small team. A lot of the companies out here, I know, like a lot of the lawn care companies, they'll also do like light hanging and other small miscellaneous things. So there are specific like just light hanging companies, and there's also like ones that do, they're kind of like just a wide range of service business, where they basically do like anything outdoors.
Is there anything that like you're pulled to more on that service side?
Probably the lawn care, just because I already know what I'm doing, and it's easy work for me. So
Yeah, competing business though.
yeah. You see so many lawn care companies out on the road. The one thing that's nice about us is we're all electric, and you don't really see too many all electric lawn care companies out there. So we got like the big green mowers, green trimmers, green edgers, and the blowers. Our truck is green. We got it all. So we really stick out to a lot of the
Mhm.
people on the road. And we get a bunch of people that come up to us asking like, "Oh, does it last all day? How quiet is it, etc." So really, just being electric on its own is almost a selling point, which is kind of cool, because you really just don't see any companies using electric out there. They're all gas powered for the most part.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's something they can brag about too. I know someone like somebody close to me. They run a like pressure washing, like windows and
Oh,
stuff. They
sure.
like clean windows, and I was like, you're really not selling window cleaning. You're selling like status. Like I want to have the cleanest house. Same with lawn care. It's like
Yep.
I don't really care if my yard is terrible, but I want other people to like look at me and be like, okay, they don't have a bad yard. But that just adds on to it. It's like we have these people that they're only electric. We're like environmentally safe or whatever.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
pretty cool. I've never heard of anything like that before.
Me
That's a
neither.
unique selling point for sure.
Yeah, it's really expensive. That's the only downside. Because the batteries on some of those mowers are large, and they're like 10K plus just for the battery.
What?
So you're spending like 30K on a 48-inch mower, um, which is crazy. But also lawn care companies make a lot of money too with a lot of the extra services and stuff. Take out a loan, get the mower, and the more efficient you are and the faster you can get done with these lawns, the more money you're going to be making. Um, I don't know. I love the electric. It's kind of great not having to deal with all the gas and all the fumes and everything when you're done with the day. You just kind of plug it in, charge it, and you're ready to go the next day.
Well, how much do these companies make? I mean, I'm sure you don't want to give like exact numbers, but do you have any rough estimate of like an average log company that maybe the size of you guys or whatever? Like, I'm always curious, like compared to online money. You're making 10K a month on Amazon. How much would like
Yep.
a lawn care company make?
Oh, I think the company that I work for, they must be doing like 80K plus a month. or something like that. Maybe not fully profits. Definitely a lot of expenses in there. But we service like 120 lawns weekly. So we're mowing that lawn each week, and then we're doing any extra services. So like spraying corn glue or spraying compost tea, which kind of helps dissipate the weeds. Applying corn gluten meal, which is like an organic nitrogen essentially, and that helps the grass grow, look more luscious. It's more green, thicker, etc. Then we do like fall cleanups where you clean up the leaves, make the gardens look nice, etc. Putting mulch down, things like that, where those extra services are really your profit makers. And then the mowings, you're just getting consistent weekly revenue from that. But he's making a lot of money. I mean, we got 4 trucks, huge trailer full of mowers, trimmers, all that stuff. We got backups for everything. He just brought in his wife a couple of years ago to work in the business too. And she was a geneticist. So she was making good money doing that, but the lawn care money, it's better than being a geneticist apparently.
Yeah, I've thought about the server stuff a lot lately. This is pretty cool. It's almost like when you get stuck online, like where we're all at. Just like, do I start this Instagram business? Do I start this TikTok thing? And it's like, well, maybe it's as simple as doing like a service thing. And I think the thing that stops is like I don't want to do the labor. But I don't know if that's really. You don't have to do the labor. I don't think, especially in your situation. You probably have enough connections to where you don't have to do the labor.
Yeah, I could easily reach out to a bunch of people that I've worked with in the past, and they would definitely want to start their own little business with me or partner, whatever it is. There's no shortage of the amount of people that would want to do the work. It's just a matter of finding somebody that's going to be consistent and reliable. We get a lot of people that come in and they're just not reliable. They always call into work sick, etc. They show up late, and it puts us in a strain because then we have to finish all of the lawns in the week no matter what. If there's rain, people calling in sick, it has to get done. So the real constraint is making sure that the employees show up on time and do the job in an efficient manner.
It seems like you have a pretty good handle on kind of what it would take. What do you think it would take if you were to start your own? Like, how much capital would you need? Do you have like an idea in your head how you'd get business? I think a lot of people would find that interesting. Like, if you wanted to start this business, because it seems like you know a lot, like, how would you go about it?
Sure. Honestly, all you need like 5 things. You need a truck. That's probably your most expensive thing. You need a mower. That's going to be your second most expensive thing. And then you need an edger, trimmer, and a blower. That's all you need. I mean, I guess you need some gas too if you're going to get gas-powered products. But that's really all. I guess get a trailer, but you can put the mower right in the flatbed of the truck and put everything else in there, and then just go out and start your route for the day. I know when my boss first started, he put out door hangers on like everybody's door. He would go door by door, just put out thousands of those until he got some customers. And then, word of mouth is great. A lot of the times when you're doing a property, you'll get the neighbors that will come out to you and also ask for, to have their property managed or whatever. So if you're doing good work and making the stripes look nice, making the lawn look nice, a lot of the times the neighbors will just come out to you anyways and ask for service for their property. So it's a lot of that. And then establishing your business online, like Angie's List or like Facebook groups that are local to you, things of that nature where you're just in a local community. That's a great place to like post your services out there for it. So really, yeah, honestly, just putting out door tags, get a few customers to start, and then hopefully, the good work that you're putting in on those lawns, other people will notice and come out to you, and hopefully you can pick up some clients that way. I will say too, if you get like those little like tags that you see in the lawns, like on corners of lawns where they're doing like spraying and stuff, that's some great advertising as well. I see those like all day long when I'm outside. And it's just multiple lawn care companies, out there. So if you can like set yourself up, have some unique advantage, whether that be, you're going out there and doing edging, for example, if you make a really nice edging job, people are going to take notice of that because a lot of lawns, they just have like the overgrowth over the side of the sidewalks and it just doesn't look nice. But as soon as you edge that, it looks so clean and crisp. People take notice to that.
Yeah. Well, you said you only had 120 lawns. That's not even many, right? That's the total clientele, right?
Yeah, total clientele. We probably do like 30 a day, but it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
You're walking around like all day. I mean, we do have some like zero turns that we ride on, but we try to like switch it up so it's fair to everybody. Everybody's doing like the trimming, edging, mowing, because trimming can be a lot. We're like in there's a place out here that's like it's called Edina. It's like a rich neighborhood, and there's like a lot of huge lawns out there. So we're like servicing those the last day of the week, and it just gets tiring doing those because you're doing so much walking. Um, but like, if you're like a solo operator, like 10 to 15 lawns a day isn't terrible. It'll probably take you like the full 8 hours to do, but if you're charging $75 a yard, times that by 10, that's $750 you're making in a day minus any of your gas fees or, wear and tear on your truck or whatever.
Yeah, is there an ideal? That's my next question was going to be like, if you think about this, is there like a math way you can make this work that's not, I don't know, like how many clients would you want? And then what would you charge? And like, how would you do it that way? Like, what's the most ideal way to do it? Because I'm sure that's the basic one, right? Like 50 to $75. But is there any other way you could do it that you could see that be more profitable or whatever?
Yeah. So, being a solo operator, you're going to be the most profitable because you're not having to pay an employee. Like personally, if I started my own lawn care company next year, I would love to have like at least 50 clients. That would be like 10 lawns a week, right? And then if I'm charging, 50 to 75, 50 is kind of on the low end. Probably like 60 to $75 a yard would be great. And then doing like some of those extra services like spraying, like weed spraying, etc. That's like almost pure profit because you're paying almost nothing for the like the concoction for the weed killer and etc. That's super cheap, and then you're charging $50 to go do that on their yard, and you're doing that maybe once or twice a month. So a lot of those extra services are where your money's going to be coming in. That's like almost pure profit. I mean, you're still making money mowing, but those extra services are where it's at.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's so like intriguing. I mean, there's so many businesses we talk about and stuff, but this is like the new one that my brain's all focused on. Maybe nothing comes out of it, but I feel like so I just talked to somebody recently. He was talking about how he got trees trimmed in his yard, like the stump trimmed or whatever. And he was like,
Yep.
the guy charged like $4,000 a day because he had all these stumps he had to get removed, and it was like 3 days, 12,000. He's like, dude, there's one guy out there. And it's not like the guy was overcharging. I called a bunch of companies, and this is like what this guy charged. And he's like, he had to be making like 90% margin on this, making $4,000 a day.
Yeah,
I guess if you're in the right area, I mean, that stuff is like ridiculous. I don't know how much you make that much money.
Yep. I mean, dude, you get like a couple storms that come through here, takes a couple trees down. They got to be making so much money because at least here in Minnesota, we get like a bunch of storms. There's maybe like a storm or two each week, it seems like, and trees go down. And guess what? Those trees need to be removed, or those stumps need to be removed. And man, if you're, doing one tree stump a week, you're already making what, 12, 16 grand a month. That's wild. And that's not too much work either. They're just sitting there with the stump grinder and just standing there watching it go. Like it's not like heavy work or anything. It's a lot easier than doing lawn care, I'm sure.
Yeah. So do you know anything about like why is it so expensive? Why do people charge so much for that type of thing?
I honestly have no idea. Doesn't seem like it would cost that much money, but I'm assuming it's just the piece of equipment that you need is probably pretty expensive, and maybe like the repairs and upkeep on that. But I've also like never operated one or anything, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. But you do need to like drive around a truck, and it's attached on the hitch of your truck. So maybe that has something to do with it, or maybe just like you need the experience operating that kind of thing.
Yeah. But you got jump.
Yeah, that's Really interesting. So yeah, I think I heard about stump grinding where it's like almost like a totally different thing. So there's some podcast where it's like if you're a tree cutter, like the grinding of the stump is supposedly like the worst part or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
And you can't, I guess you have a tree truck. I guess if it's like bucket and stuff, you can't drag the stump grinder. It's something weird where like the
Mm.
equipment can't go together somehow. But yeah, I mean that's what you could do. You do stump grinding business instead over there. Um that's interesting to me where you have like a really good Amazon business sort of thing going there, and then your kind of head is going to like lawn care. Like I'd rather be outside and do this type of thing. Um so yeah, that's just really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it's great having, different sources of income that aren't necessarily like related. So I love having like the income from Amazon and eBay. But then, doing lawn care, it's completely separate, different industries. So if something happens to e-commerce, like, I don't know, something major where you just sellers can't sell online anymore or something, I'd still have this lawn care that I can lean back on and still make a lot of money doing. So I like having like businesses that are not related at all, and just bringing in income that way. That's why I've been like, I was thinking about the private label, but I almost just want to do something that's not related at all, just so I don't have any risk, getting banned or whatever it is.
Yeah, and also you got to think this is the real key to doing these companies. I think too is if you start one of these successful service businesses, you just start tweeting about it and stuff, and you can start some kind of program. I know the guy, the one that everybody knows. He goes and sells, maybe it's window cleaning, door to door or something. Yeah, I see this kid all the time on TikTok. I forget his name, but he's always like pointing out, "Hey, I saw your windows up here.
Oh,
We were just checking out your neighbors." That guy, he has a coaching program, and I bet he's doing like 100, 200 grand a month in coaching
oh,
stuff, just getting all that. And it's like really not that hard because you have people like me who like, I don't know how to start that. And like I would ask you, hey man, how much would you charge me to like start this lawn care company and then have all these like SOPs for me and stuff. So that's a huge part of it too, because there's such a skill gap there where it's like, what do I use? Or like, what are the best practices? And then it kind of just goes in. You just talk about each day. Hey, I made this much money this day from lawn care company. And then you don't have to worry about competition either. Or it's Amazon, you have to give away leads and things like that. This service stuff, it's not like somebody's going to compete with you. And it doesn't really matter if they are. There's so many houses. It doesn't like you can't service them all.
yep, yep. Yeah, I thought like, just starting the business and documenting the journey on Twitter or Instagram, wherever, would be really fun, really exciting, something new to do. Like I said, I don't really post that much on social media. I just don't feel like the need to. I know it's great to like make connections that way, but I'm just like really happy with where I'm at. And I don't know, it's almost just like stressful being on social media. I really don't like it. Like I wouldn't have Facebook if I didn't have like my grandma on there. She loves to message me on Facebook. So that's the only reason I have it. And then just being able to reach out to like you guys or whatever, seeing what's new out in the community. But I think it'd just be a lot of fun starting something new and, building it out there in the public and letting other people see. And then I can use those results to, like you were saying, selling like a program or something, something along those lines in the end.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think that's also how you scale that business up because the service businesses. I mean, yeah, I guess you could scale it as you hire more and more people, but I feel like scaling those businesses really big takes a ton of work. Where it's like if you turned it into a digital type thing, you can make it a little bit easier that way. That's where
Definitely.
my mind goes with like everything, but especially the service stuff, just because you
Yep.
can reach a national audience.
Yeah. I see these people on YouTube too. I don't know if you guys have seen them or like TikTok where they're going out and they're, they see these really overgrown properties. They go knock on the door, see if they're home, see what's going on with them. And then they'll offer to do their yard for free. And then they make their yard look super nice. And then the owners are super happy. They didn't have to pay for it. And then they're just getting the revenue from YouTube, from all the watches and etc. So they're able to go out and do yard care for free to people in need, and then they're just getting the money from YouTube, which is a great deal, I feel like.
Yeah, that's ludicrous. Ludicrous. Like, especially because the people that you would reach out to probably wouldn't pay you anyways if their yard's like ridiculous.
Yep,
And the
yep.
transformation's way better than just the average yard. I love watching those, especially the sidewalk ones. I watch those all the time. And it's
Yeah,
like, wow, like this is, I didn't think about how much money they probably made for advertising and stuff like that. You didn't even have to sell, so you probably make ad dollars, like more than you would make charging the person
Oh,
anyways.
oh, easily. Yeah, some of these people, they got to be making bank doing it. And it looks fun too, like I feel like if I told my boss to like go out there and set up cameras, it'd be kind of cool just, seeing the progress throughout the day, of each yard or whatever, and just even posting it to YouTube, making it a little fun or whatever. There's so much more I feel like he could be doing, but he's also a bit older. He's not like chronically online or anything, so I doubt he would do anything like that. But that's kind of like where I could come in, and if I'm starting my own business, I could do that pretty easily, and it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, it wouldn't. What about like Google stuff? You know anything about that, like SEO? Does he focus on that? I think that's an important part too, right?
Yeah, he does a lot of the SEO stuff. I haven't done anything with it. I don't really know how that works. I've never done anything with it in the past. But he definitely does a lot of the Google SEO stuff, and like I said before, like posting in groups, trying to find new clients and stuff. But he's already got like a pretty good word of mouth about the business around the area. We're like kind of like positioned as like the premium lawn care company. So we get a lot of like, richer clients that come out and, want us to do their yards just because we offer premium quality work.
What you got, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's almost like the first thing that came to my mind too when you were talking about like, oh, your boss is a little older and doesn't want to do like the social media aspect of it, or like you could almost sell that to like other landscaping companies. Like, hey, this isn't that hard. Like, this is what you document. This is what you would do, and I think that could like really be like a big opportunity as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely thought about that. I've also thought about I don't have you guys seen those like little mini mowers that go around on yards and mow the yards on its own? It's like a little like race
Was
car.
just listening to it yesterday. I was looking up one yesterday. Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, that's the coolest looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. There's quite a few like yards out here by us that use that now, and it's really cool. The one downside is it takes like the whole day to like basically mow, and then you got to have it charged and everything. But it's like mowing every day, so it your yard's always looking crisp. So I thought about like starting maybe a business where you're going around setting up those mowers for people at their yards, because you have to like put in little stakes in the yards, and then set up the mapping on, I think it's like a software that you're using where you're setting up the mapping where your yard actually is. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to do that. So I thought about maybe trying like a service-based business around that. I haven't like thought fully into it yet, but the idea is out there.
I guess the problem there is the recurring part, though, right? Like you
Yeah.
just have a one-time shot.
Yep. I would assume it'd probably be like I'm providing the mower, and then I'm doing the setup for you. So maybe
Oh, okay.
like some sort of like setup fee, and then maybe like I don't know, reoccurring like maintenance fee or
Mhm.
something each month, making
Mhm.
sure it's maintained and everything's running properly. Like maybe like you come out a couple times a month, make sure everything looks great, and if so, just keep it moving.
Yeah, I wonder how much do those cost. I saw like the best one I saw was on Home Depot. It was like 4.8 stars, and it was like 1,400 or something.
Yeah, that you want to spend a little bit more on them. They're expensive, but you definitely want like a premium product of that kind of thing. You don't want something cheap, because if the blade's probably just gonna run out, get dull or whatever. It's just you're not gonna get a good cut with that kind of cheap of product.
Do you know if they do is that the edging where it's like the sidewalks? Do they know if those things do that or not?
No, it just mows basically. It doesn't do any edging or trimming, so it'll miss like the stuff around like the trees and sidewalks, corners, etc. But maybe there, now that I'm thinking of it, is something where you can come out, and as part of that service of setting it up and maintaining it, you're coming out and trimming all the areas that the mower misses. I never thought about that, so that's something that's yeah, that could potentially be great.
Yeah, that's probably an easy upsell. Like an extra 20 to 30 bucks a month
Yeah,
if you do that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because then that's also probably a little quicker too than having to mow the whole lawn. You
Yep.
could bang out a lot more of that, or like just deploy like a lot of people.
Yeah, you
I
don't
feel
gotta
like.
haul around a big mower. Don't need a lot of gas. Yeah, no, the more we talk about it, the more exciting it sounds.
And then you could probably also on top probably work out a deal with like a company to get like an affiliate on like selling
Mm.
the mower to actual people. Be like, hey, if I sell this mower, like I'm starting this business, like how much will you give me?
Yeah, no, that's another great idea.
Yeah, I wonder what the math would be. I'm about to chat GPT right after this conversation. I wonder like how much it would cost, what you could make, how long it would take to recoup. Because starting off with like, I don't know, I feel like you can get them less, like cheaper if you ordered in bulk. I'm sure there's some company where it's like, hey, I want 20 of these. They would give you a big discount. Um, and then how I think it'd be pretty easy to get the clients too. I think people would just get that because it sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, if you know the target area you want to work in, like the areas that we're working in, like the Edina area I was saying before, um, a lot of those people have money, so I don't think they'd be as price sensitive to that kind of thing. Upcharge them on the mower and then charge monthly services. I don't really think it would be too hard. It would just be a matter of trying to market the.
If you could just take 2 seconds and subscribe to this YouTube channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers by the end of the year, and the more subscribers we have, the better guests we can get for you. So you literally just take 2 seconds right now, hit subscribe. It will also let you know when new episodes go live and everything we're up to. Thank you so much.
Service or product. So I don't know if that'd be something I would want to go to like small communities online or kind of like an Angie's List thing. I haven't done really much marketing myself, so that would be new to me.
And I wonder if you could just now that I'm thinking about this too, we're just like building a business live on the podcast. That's what we could put as the title. But I think couldn't you just instead of selling them like the thing where they own the equipment, couldn't you just rent out the equipment? Because if you think about it, well, $75 a week, that's $300 a month. You could just charge $200 a month. Now you've recouped over the cost, probably double of the mower just for that fee if you charge that every week anyways, or every month, $200 a month. Hey, you can rent out this thing and I'll come set it up and maintain it. And would they even think to go buy one themselves? They'd probably just be worried it's going to take too long to set up. I've never even heard of these before yesterday. So I didn't even know they existed. So yeah, you probably just wouldn't even give them the equipment. So
Yeah,
you could resell the mower at the end of it. So it's not really a loss. It's like just
yeah, yeah. I could definitely see some people signing up for the service and maybe not being happy with like how the lawn looks, like striping wise. You do get some like really nice stripes with bigger mowers on your yard. And with that kind of thing, you don't really get the striping, but your yard is always mowed. So I could see some people, signing up and they just don't like it after a couple of months and kind of drop off,
it's
which
fine.
would be fine if I could resell it. So, yeah, I don't really see an issue there either. It's just a matter of signing up the clients, really.
Yet how many you would need. Like
Yep.
if all you needed was 20 or 30, it's like 100% you could get that. That's simple
Yeah,
to get.
yeah.
True.
I mean, there's like I live in the Twin Cities. There's so many people out here. Like it can't be too hard to find like a handful of clients.
This does sound like a decent idea.
Yeah, I think when you break it down like that too, when you're like, you only need 50 to 100 people and you're in like a really big spot, like to do 100K on Amazon, like you need a lot of ASINs to do that. But for this, like you just have to really maintain 50 to let's call it 75 relationships. Well, it might sound hard on paper, like once you kind of like build it up. I mean, I can imagine too that if you have a landscaper, unless you're really, really mad, you're gonna keep them because it's probably just like a big pain in the ass to like start looking around, start getting quotes. Like you're kind of in yourselves like, are they really doing that bad of a job? It just seems like a big pain. So like once you kind of have them and keep doing a good job, I feel like probably not going to be much turnover. Even if someone's like, I'll do it for cheaper, you're like, well, I don't even know like if you do a good job or not. It's not that much cheaper. Like I'm just gonna stay with who I have.
Yep, yep. Yeah, a lot of the clients we work with in the lawn care business currently, the only times they're really dropping is when we do price increases at the start of the new year. Otherwise, people stay on for, a majority of the year. Maybe we'll get like one or two that drop, but most people as long as you're providing really good value and service, most people are happy with what you do. They just don't want to go out there and mow themselves. So if they come home, see their lawn is mowed and it looks nice, they're going to be happy to keep paying for your service.
Yeah. This has been interesting. What else you got, John? Any other? Or actually, do you have any questions? What do you think about the pod on the guest side? Has there been any guests that have kind of like stood out to you, or business models specifically that have stood out to you that we've talked to?
Yeah, so I really like Checkmate Flips episodes. So I on Amazon, I actually do a lot of eBay to Amazon as well, where I'm buying new products from eBay and selling it on Amazon. Haven't had an issue yet. I've gotten a few authenticity complaints before, but I literally submitted my eBay invoice and they accepted it. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and as long as it's working. But yeah, he was really fun to listen to, just because we had that similarity.
Yeah, what about him getting? I mean, I guess he's. I don't know. We haven't talked to him since the last episode, but I wonder if he's got his account back or not. Or if he's just
I
doing
hope
new
so.
stuff.
I hope so. You know, I don't wish downfall on anybody, but it did make me a little nervous hearing that. But nothing's happened yet, so I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Knock on wood that nothing bad happens.
Is that
I think
majority of your revenue?
No, not majority. It's maybe like 10% of my revenue. But there's one product in particular that just every time I get my hands on it, it sells immediately. So I'm constantly checking eBay. I have this app called Baywatch, and it just notifies me every time a new listing is up, and I just go buy it pretty quick. So it's easy money.
that's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's always, you never think you'll get suspended or, it's going to happen. And then someone you kind of know or someone you watch on YouTube, it happens to them. You're like, ooh, like,
Yep. Yep.
hope that doesn't happen to me. We're like, that'll never happen because all the people you watch don't. But then when someone does, you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess
I
this is
don't.
kind of real.
Yeah, Amazon is all over the place. I know a lot of people have been hit with Section 3s. I haven't had that issue yet. Maybe it's because I started my Amazon account back in 2016. So maybe I have some sort of like grandfathered in like advantage or whatever. I'm not sure what it is, but thankfully I've been pretty good with my account health and never had any issues with them.
Yeah. What else? You got any other questions, Sean?
I don't think so. This lawn care thing, like,
I
I
know.
think it seems
I didn't
like a
even think
great
that's what we were
idea.
going to talk about today, but
I'm about
it's
to
like,
go draft up some something, see what I can do for it. It sounds really exciting now that we've talked about it and kind of fleshed out the idea a little bit. I definitely think there's a lot of opportunity out there for something like that.
yeah, I think this is cool. I think just on like a random off topic, I think one thing we can start doing for the pod more is bringing people on and kind of talking through these ideas like this. I think hopefully this provides some value of like how you can kind of think through. We started it, service business, it's lawn care, and it's these robots that clean lawns, subscription based. It's like, okay, well, you can kind of like flesh out a lot of stuff on here. I think it's like somewhat valuable to hear people talk through it, especially when people think of ideas like, my idea is dumb. It's like, listen, we have dumb ideas too. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I thought like, it was a good idea in a sense, but I didn't really like flesh out the thinking of it. So having some other people to talk to about it really kind of push forward level thinking. So now that I've got a couple of those ideas, it's kind of got my wheels turning a little bit more. And I'm excited to do a little bit more research on it.
Yeah, I was talking to John before this of I've been just in a slump the last like I don't know a few months or so of just like not really doing much because I'm trying to like I want a good idea, I want a good thing, and I've started following this guy on YouTube and he does this like retard maxing thing where he's like stop thinking so much, you just need to like be a retard, just do stuff. And I'm like, well, honestly, I mean, it's pretty. He's like a smart guy. It's just his like kind of catchphrase. I'm like, I just need to start doing stuff like these kind of ideas or whatever. Like, how hard would it be really? Okay, you don't have to. Let's say for this idea specifically. You don't have to get the robots. You don't have to go door to door. You could just create a website and just like put the stuff on there that you've been talking about and then run some like static Facebook ads or go in a group and say, like, hey, would you guys be interested in this? And then just like collect emails and say, okay, well, let's say 20% of these emails are actually going to buy your product. Then you just do the math there. You don't even actually have to start the business. You can get the proof of concept and then it's like, okay, well, then I'll just fulfill as this stuff comes in. It's all so easy to start nowadays. So you can start a website in a day. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like when you have ideas like that, especially stuff like this, it's almost worth it to just like try to go ahead and see what, you don't have to get everything in line before you start doing this stuff. I think nowadays too, everybody wants to have this perfect plan. It's like, is that the best idea? It's probably not. Like you might not ever start. That's the problem with it.
I think another thing people underestimate too is like when I first started doing books, it's like you could basically rent everything. Like you could do like the homework on like how much it might cost to like rent a lawnmower or whatever. and just like put that into your cost. And if you get the job, like just go rent the lawnmower and do the job. I used to do that all the time with like when I was doing bulk books. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, and you need basically like a pallet jack to do it. And the pallet jack was like, I don't know, $40 or $50 to rent. You could buy one for like $100, but I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this. Let me just rent it. And there's like little loopholes. Like the rental place, I think, was closed on Sunday. So I got the pallet jack on Saturday. So I could use it for 2 days because I can't return on Sunday. So there's like these like little loops if you like kind of think through some of this stuff. Same thing with like truck rentals and stuff like that. So there's definitely like little ways to do it. Like I'm sure like one of those like places has like one of those robot things too that you could rent, and then like see maybe you like rent it and you're like, I hate setting these up, like I don't want to do this, like this isn't the business. And now you save yourself what, like $1,000 for something you didn't even know you want to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just put stuff out there and try and see if it works.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part is starting. Everybody gets stuck in the thinking phase and what they actually want to do. If you just go out there and do it, start it, you're not going to go wrong. It's better to just start and learn from your mistakes than not starting at all.
Yep. Well, approaching 50 minutes. Is there anything you want to leave the viewers with? Any wise words of advice?
Man, just if you want it, you got to go grind. Just do it. There's, like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it. There's nothing else you can do. I'm a naturally lazy person. I'll admit that, but I go out there and I do the work. I put in like the 2 hours a day on average. I just make sure it gets done, and I'm happy with where I'm at now. So if you just put in the work now, your later self will be happy with you.
And where can people find you?
You can just find me on Twitter or X at _ Zelanoslo, XELANOSLO.
Sweet.
Cool deal. Go like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, guys.